getting impatient, they're calling for some action.
2 words. Shot clock. Well, you'll probably lose, but it doesn't really matter whether you bust your ass for hours and win, like I did, because all you get is a trophy that is entirely meaningless and a bunch of strength spheres, which is lousy because you can get those anywhere by just fighting monsters, and I never once ran short. And just in case you didn't get enough of that balls-pounding awful action, the game opens up an entire league of blitzball. Oh, wow, no, God, no. Just, no. Look, is that meant to be a reward? Do I want to play more blitzball? Do I want to be waterboarded? Are you mad?
The blitz season just started.
Yeah, even though we just had the championship, the season just started. And it's accessible from any save sphere. Anywhere. At least Triple Triad is over in 3 minutes. Fuck your blitzballs with a rusty gunblade. Fuck this game! After the game, though, monsters attack the stadium, which seems like the stupidest thing monsters could possibly do, considering they're attacking a building full of guys who can throw blitzballs, the deadliest weapons known to man. But these are really big monsters. Good thing Titus brought his 4-foot sword to the game. Wait, what's this? A character who's not a mincing, whiny dumbass with bad hair? Someone who's actually competent? Someone who doesn't make me want to kill fans of this game with a box cutter? This is Orin, the one awesome thing to come out of this donkey's anus of a game. A man so badass that being killed only served to piss him the fuck off. Although I still don't know what the deal is with Orin's arm. He carries it in his sleeve like he's hurt, but he does use the arm to swing the sword, but how can he be hurt if he's a ghost? Whatever. But things start looking bad for our heroes until Seymour steps in and summons a magic boat anchor to pull fucking Dagon up from hell itself to kill everything! Okay, yes, he dragged a great old one up in chains from hell itself to serve him, but that doesn't make him evil. Why would you think that? The man's a hero. Praise be to Yevon.
Hey, you! Don't just stand there! All of this is your fault! Getting swallowed by sin, ending up here in Spira, not being able to go back to Xanark, and everything!
You must admit, Orin shows great restraint in not just backhanding the little pissant's teeth out.
Not being able to go back to Xanark, and everything!
This is all your fault, you mean man. If not for you, none of this would happen. Are you kidding me with this guy? Is there a form we can fill out to change protagonists? Was he randomly assigned? Do these characters ever shut up? Is it too much to ask for us to get on with the fucking plot already? I mean, are we done with the blitzball? Has everyone gone potty? Can we go ride your shitty plot railroad now? Of course not, because this game is under the dangerous twin delusions that we care about Titus, and that the game is about him and not Yuna. More on that later, but Titus decides that he'll bitch to anyone that'll listen about how he'll probably never get back to Xanarkin, and how nobody believes that he really comes from there. Yuna attempts to cheer him up in this, the most infamous scene from Final Fantasy X. Now, I could say that this scene is a great example of how much the voice acting in this game sucks, and it is, but I still can't imagine how this scene was any less awkward and stupid in the original Japanese.
I learned to practice smiling when I'm feeling sad, you know. Now, let's see what you can do.
Huh?
Come on. Next, try laughing out loud.
What?
Come on, show me.
Hey, want to hear the most annoying sound in the world?
You probably shouldn't laugh anymore.
Yeah, Titus, your chances of getting laid?
God damn it! Do you hear this? Do you hear this, people?
hell! This is the sound of my hell! An eternity of this sound! And it never shuts up!
I want my journey to be full of laughter.
Yes, painfully awkward, forced laughter. Seriously, I haven't seen laughter this uncomfortable and fake since Leno took back The Tonight Show.
What are you looking at?
We were just worried you guys might have gone crazy.
And no, just in case you're wondering, because right about now I started wondering the same thing myself, you can't skip the cutscenes. Ever.
We can't just skip all that, can we? Huh?
Finally they hit the road and meet a bunch of knights on chickens who protect the land. And they suck at it because there's monsters all over the fucking place, and one in particular that likes to eat giant chickens. Actually, who doesn't like to eat giant chickens? Seriously, if we could grow chickens the size of Volkswagens, you'd better believe Colonel Sanders would find a way to serve it in a bucket with a jacuzzi full of mashed potatoes. I just don't think our first thought for giant chickens would be mounted infantry. Anyway, you meet some old dude named Macon who will tell you tons of pointless history lessons about every single conceivable thing you couldn't possibly give a shit about. And somehow he always gets there before you. How does Macon keep beating me to all these places with all these monsters around? Dude's gotta be badass. You also meet a summoner named Belgamina who wears enormous half-spheres on her head. I don't know. Everyone in Spear is a fashion nightmare. People really choose to wear shit this complicated over just t-shirts and jeans? Where do you buy head domes? Where do you buy shorts with one leg way longer than the other? So you journey on for a bit until you run up against a military checkpoint that refuses to let you pass while Operation Mihen is going on. Apparently they're trying to attack Sin with conventional weapons because, you know, the Tokyo military was always super effective whenever they attack Godzilla. But they don't want to let the professional summoner and her heavily armed bodyguards in because, they might help. Okay, when your wardrobe would skeeve Gareth the Goblin King out, it's time to rethink your life. Anyway, they let Seymour through because he's running the whole operation, and because Seymour clearly wants to put his blue-veined wiener in Yuna, he lets her inside too. To Waka's horror, he sees that Seymour's using Al-Bhed machine cannons in clear violation of the teachings of Yevon. See, he's got a problem with anything Al-Bhed because his brother Chapu became a guardian, but used an Al-Bhed gun and got killed anyway. Naturally, he blames the crappy Al-Bhed gun instead of the mile-long dinosaur that dropped a death ray the size of Nebraska on him. I mean, why would you put your trust in an assault rifle when you've got a perfectly good volleyball? No! I'm never gonna let the blitzball thing go!
This plan won't work. You know that.
Come on, don't be so negative. Yuna's optimistic. I'm sure this group of 60 or so yokels on chickens with a dozen scavenge cannons can really make a Oh, right. Yeah, he crushed an entire civilization by simply flying over it and flaking his dandruff on them. What was the plan again? Lure Godzilla into the most feeble trap ever conceived and hope it dies of laughter? I remind you, this is the same group of Chocobo Knights that was unable to kill the Chocobo Eater 10 minutes ago, and their plan was to charge directly into Sin's Dalek Death Ray? Was this Seymour's plan? Would you take battle strategy from a guy with blue hair antlers? Anyway, it's not exactly clear how the heroes survived the complete annihilation of the army, except for the fact that the game would be over if they died. So they decide to keep going with the pilgrimage and never speak of this complete and abject failure again.
How much longer till Xanarkand?
Still a ways.
Oh, boy.
And before that, we get to pray at the temple in Jose.
Ah, yes, the temples. Another fresh slice of hell at the end of each road. In case you weren't bored enough with the characters standing around and talking all game, there's nothing like stalling the game out completely for about 45 minutes at a stretch, with absolutely no action as you run around each temple's cloister of trials, listening to the same looped, repetitive, dull music the whole time, as you push around pillars and put your balls into holes in the wall. It's such busy work. Who thought long, tedious stretches of block-pushing puzzles would be fun? It's the gaming equivalent of getting a pop quiz. These sequences contribute nothing to the plot aside from bogging it down in mundane, easily solved, but nonetheless time-consuming puzzles. In fact, they harm the mythology by raising questions such as, who maintains these temples and rebuilds the walls after you blow holes in them? If Yevon is so opposed to technology, what's the nature of these spheres and the apparent high-tech look of the temples and circuits wiring the spheres to the walls? Is it even worth asking what's with the temple surrounded by lightning rocks floating around it? Do you think Donna ever gets cold wearing a thong and assless chaps?
You expect me to keep up with a chocobo?
Look! One of Kimari's friends looks just like him.
What?
Hey, we better hurry or we'll miss the shoe puff.
Oh no! What?
Hey, we better hurry or we'll miss the shoe puff.
The shoe puff.
The shoe puff.
This is going to be something from a Dr. Seuss book, isn't it?